Hi, I'm Aaron Myers, and I'm going to be telling you about technology and the internet. Technology. Do you think that you could live your life without the use of technology? Today's society has become more and more dependent on technology. It has become a part of our daily lives. Everywhere you turn, there is some sort of technical device within reach. Technology has changed the way the world works, and it continues to do so every day. Facebook. My generation alone has seen the effects of technology firsthand. Just within the last 20 years, the world has become almost totally dependent on the use of technology. A big change that has happened is the way we communicate and socialize. 20 years ago, if someone wanted to have a prolonged conversation with someone, they would simply get together over lunch or have supper together at one of their houses. Now, with the use of the internet, you have access to your friends' every move through Facebook. Facebook has enough users today that if every one of them were together, it would make up the largest country in the world. It knows where you are, what you are doing, and more. Your every move can be learned through Facebook if you allow it, and your friends can always see it. Many people today have access to Facebook through many different devices, so checking your Facebook page gets easier every day. According to a recent survey by Retrovo, almost half of the 1,000 people that were interviewed said they'd check in on the social media scene in bed, during the night, or as soon as they wake up in the morning. And users under the age of 25 Facebook more at night than older users. Online dating. Social networking is not the only thing that the internet has brought about. It has changed the dating scene as well. According to Carl Fish, a college professor, 1 out of 8 marriages last year met online. Online dating was not even heard of 20 or 30 years ago. Now, signing up for an online profile on a dating site is accepted as a regular part of trying to find a partner in life. Online learning. The internet has also changed the way people learn. Where there used to be books, there are now laptops or e-readers. Even classes are offered through the internet instead of students having to attend class with other peers. The entire world is changing to a digital world. Newspapers, magazines, movies, and more are now at the click of a mouse. Whereas a few years back, if you had a question about what was going on in the world, you would read the newspaper or just ask someone. Carl Fish also learned that in 2006, 2.7 billion questions were typed into Google every month. Now, in just a few short years, that number has increased to 31 billion. It makes you wonder who answered all of these questions before Google was around. The cell phone. Another big part of almost all of our daily lives is the cell phone. Most of you have one in your pocket or in reach at all times. You check it throughout the day, whereas they didn't even exist in the short past. Many of us would say that we couldn't live without our cell phones because we are in need of them. But it brings up the question, how did everyone throughout history survive? Cell phones are depended on for many things. They are very helpful because they are so mobile. They can be taken anywhere and used at almost all times. If there is an emergency, you no longer have to run to a landline phone, you just have to reach on your pocket for help. Believe it or not, cell phones in the younger generation today are rarely used for calling someone. Face-to-face communication decreased when the telephone was invented, and now with text messaging, you rarely hear someone's voice. The first commercial text message was sent in 1992. Now the number of text messages sent and received every day exceeds the total population of the planet. That much of a change has occurred in under a decade, and it is predicted to do so to change as time goes on. Online shopping. According to Fish, the internet took only 4 years to reach a target audience of 50 million users, and Facebook took only 2 years. The internet has changed the way marketing has occurred. Many people now shop online instead of going to local stores. The competition of online shopping has grown so much, many people are offering free shipping on most of their items just to get the consumer to buy from them. Online shopping can be done from the comfort of your home, and the items that you bought are delivered right to your home. The internet is making the world we live in easier in many ways. Internet devices. A big part of technology today is not just the internet, but how we access it. In 1982, there were only 1,000 devices with internet capability. 10 years after that, in 1992, there were over a million. Now there are an estimated 1 billion different devices capable of accessing the internet. Access to general information through technology. The information that we have access to is unbelievable. If you turn on the TV, there are many different news stations on all news stations on, all at one time, giving you up-to-the-minute news. There's nothing going on in the world that rarely misses the news companies. Whether it is online or on air, we hear what is going on and are quick to tweet, blog, or Facebook about it. It is said that if you read a week's worth of the New York Times, you have gathered more information than an average person would have known in a lifetime in the 18th century. Technology is growing fast. Every day, the limits of what we know are being pushed. Records are being broken, and things that we imagined could never be done are now being accomplished in the blink of an eye. It seems like technology is on a roll with no end in sight. According to a university study, the amount of technical information is doubling every 2 years. If you think about it, that means that if you're a student starting a 4-year technical degree, that half of what you learned in your first year of study will be outdated by your 3rd year of study. According to NTT, a leading research company in Japan, they have just successfully tested a fiber optic cable that pushes 14 trillion bits per second down a single strand of fiber. If you are unfamiliar with how much that really is, that is the equivalent of 2,660 CDs or 210 million phone calls every second. According to NTT, their technology is tripling every 6 months, and they expect it to continue to do so for the next 20 years at least. Online crime. The internet has opened up a window of opportunity for criminals. The most common criminals are probably not who you would expect. Most illegal activity online is done by young adults and teenagers, illegally downloading music. Almost every teen that you talk to today has illegally downloaded music or knows someone who has. A recent report from BBC stated that over 2 billion files are downloaded illegally every month, and that number is still growing. Advertising. The internet has become a hotspot for advertising. Internet ads are the way that most websites pay for their upkeeping. It is reported that during the 2008 campaign for the presidency, John McCain raised over $11 million in 1 month, and during the same month, President Obama attended no campaign fundraisers. Instead, he was able to raise $55 million through social networking sites in just 29 days. We are living in exponential times. Technology and the use of internet have changed the way that we live our lives. Our lives are easier and we are more connected than ever. We have access to countless amounts of information and we can get to it in many different ways. Technology is living and growing and shaping our society by the second. So much has happened in just a few decades, and of what we know now, many more changes are to come.